YouTubers. Right, today we are going to do a what's in the box look at the Milwaukee M12 angled impact wrench, 3/8 of an inch. We're going to see how it performs. It's neither of these two, but I thought I'd bring these two out. This is my impact driver and my drill, M18. I've had these for probably 12 years now, 10 to 12 years. Used them professionally when I was an electrician, and as you can see, they've had a really hard life and they have been absolutely faultless. They are beautiful to hold, heavy but solid, very nicely weighted, very durable. So on the strength of these, I decided to go with the Milwaukee kit all the way through, to keep batteries and so on a bit easier. Although the M12 impact wrench uses a different type of battery, but these two have been outstanding. So I decided to buy an impact wrench. I wanted a right angle wrench to give me better access, and I went for a kit because the batteries are different. So I ordered the kit from SGS. It comes with this bag, which is actually a nice bag. It's big, very big. And I have used this, so it will look used when I get it out, but I wanted to test it out, obviously, because it's a new shiny toy, so I wanted to give it a go. But in the bag we got the right angle wrench, 2 batteries, and the battery charger. It also came with a book of instructions, which, as usual, is of no value whatsoever. It basically just tells you don't heat the batteries. The actual instructions for using the wrench are on the back of the box, and the reason for that, you think, well, you press the button and go, don't you? But the reason for that is that it's got a number of different settings giving you different torque amounts. So the spec of this gives you 300 nanometers claimed torque, and 4 drive modules. This is the one equipped with the slip ring, I think. I don't know what that does. I guess it must be good. I don't know. Oh dear, end of a cigar. Right. So the wrench itself. Bought this from SGS, who I've had quite a number of bits of kit off. Disclaimer, I don't get any discounts or anything like that. I'm not sponsored by SGS. I just buy my kit from them because they deliver quickly and they sell good stuff. Really simple. So that's the actual wrench itself. Now I was surprised at how big it is, particularly the head size. It's actually a little bit limiting as to fitting into tight spaces, just because of its physical size. But again, it's hefty, clearly a good quality tool. Now I paid, how much did I pay for it? It's about £220 for that complete kit from SGS. Batteries are these wee little ones, which seem to last a good time. They just go in the handle of the wrench, like so. Now to get the different settings, there's a controller on the back, and this is the main fault with it actually, is that the lights are dreadful. On that, to see what mode you're in. I can't even see it. I've got an umbrella up here to provide a bit of shade, and I cannot see very easily which mode I'm in. I'm going to show you that on a close-up. So that's the what is it? That's the indicator on the back. That tells you how much battery charge you've got. This is the indicator for the modes, and you can see the light is impossible to see in anything except for darkness. So that is probably the biggest issue with this, is that it's really difficult to tell which mode you're actually in. If I put my hand over it like that, I can just see that's mode 2, mode 3, and that's the torquing mode. So this mode here is the one for doing up nuts. It just does up to 20 nanometers, so it's just for spinning the nut on so you don't over torque it. If you take them off, it will apply low RPM but maximum torque for getting off stuck nuts. You can see that it's very hard to actually see. If you put your hand over it, it's a little bit easier. but really difficult to actually see what you're doing. Battery indicator is there, and you've got a light for lighting this work area just there. So on the box it gives you what the modes are in RPM. It doesn't actually tell you the torque on there, which would be useful. The dimensions, so 361 millimeters long with a head width of 7 millimeters. And it just tells you a little bit about the battery controls and such like, and the power indicator. So they say that this is the most powerful right angle wrench on the market. I think it said up to 300 nanometers of torque. So what we're going to do now is go and actually remove a wheel nut on a steel wheel on my car, which I've actually torqued up to, what should we go for? We'll start with 100 nanometers, which is pretty much sort of, well, more than most wheel nuts will need to get going up to, and we'll see how it copes with that. It's up to 100 nanometers. What's it out. The thing I found with this is it can be quite tricky getting the socket actually onto it. Now I want to select the nut busting one. See what I'm doing, which you can't. So kind of prove my point that I was saying. The light, absolutely impossible to see. Okay, right. There we go. Too much of a drama there. Right, let's go crazy. What do I want to wrench go up to? So we're going to go up to 200. Sure, that will provoke lots of complaints from people about how you shouldn't do your wheel up to 200. What the hell? It's a steel wheel. All the rest of it. It'll be fine. Neutron. Okay, 200. Oh, there's the socket gone. Right. It's actually not up to 200, but that's as tight as I dare do it. I really want to bust a wheel nut. Okay, let's see how we go. Okay, so struggled a little bit, just rattling it off, but it did get it off. So, will it do 300? Can't test it up to that because I haven't got anything to tighten it up with, but yeah, it'll come close to that, I think. And then that same setting for doing it up, we'll just do it up to 20 so that you don't over tighten, and that's a real benefit, that is. So there we go, that's your Milwaukee right angle impact driver. Nice bit of kit, very nicely made, big, which does, as I said, does limit its functionality a little bit, but it is quite a useful addition to the toolbox. I have used it quite a lot. So just in case you're wondering about where I got the 3/8 impact socket set from, because there's not a huge number of people that do those. This is by Teng. I get these from GM Auto Spares in Harleston in Norfolk. She does me a really good deal on the pricing. And she just orders the stuff in, and it usually arrives fairly quickly. Beautiful tools. I've got quite a few of their bits and bobs, and really, really nice stuff. I've got 3/4 deep and standard. and they've even got some itty bitty little ones as well, should you require them. On a 1/4 inch drive, for that goes from 13mm down to 6. So yeah, really good set of really good tools, to be honest. The other tools that I use, incidentally, is the Halfords Advanced Professional, and for the price, hard to beat. Really good price, good tools, lifetime guarantee. So, as you can see, doing the wheel, you could get in, but it could be a little bit awkward, particularly on a dish wheel or whatever. You'd want a more traditional sort of a gun. So I also bought from SGS a slightly more standard impact driver, impact wrench. This is an 18 volt, and happily it uses the same batteries as my other tools, even though they are quite old and the batteries are good. Similar tech to the angle wrench, in that it's got different settings, but the illumination is significantly better, really easy to see, so much better illumination, and it's just adjusted by changing that button on the top there, so hopefully you can see that. Okay, this is quite a compact wrench, so it's more compact than the real big ones, but it's also a lot cheaper than the real big ones. This body only was under £100, which can't argue with that, to be honest. I think that's a fantastic price, again from SGS. And I think for most automotive stuff that would be enough. I mean, they do a 1/2 inch drive one that's nearly 2000 nanometers of torque. Unless you're working on trucks and buses, are you really going to need that? I don't think so. I think 300 is probably going to be adequate, certainly for cars. So that is a nice little compact wrench, and I use that a lot actually. Yeah, it's been really useful. So the combination of the two should hopefully give you access to pretty much any situation really that you need, unless it's really tight, in which case you're back to a hand wrench. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and yeah, we'll try not to have quite such a long gap between videos next time. It's been a bit of a long time. Furlough's coming to an end, so back to work. Alright, thank you.